Okay, so, hello everyone, this is Anza, back with another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This time, we are in court, and we are going to be defending Maya Fey, who is Mia Fey's sister. And we're up against someone named Edgeworth. So, apparently this guy is, really good at what he does, and so we have to be very careful. Okay. So, he's telling us, well, that we already knew this, but he's stating that Maya Fey was at the scene of the crime, and there's evidence that she committed the murder. There's also a witness. Okay. We saw what actually happened at the beginning of this case, so it's our job to prove that, what actually happened. So it seems that Gumshoe is the first on stand. So, detective in charge of homicides. The details of this murder. Okay? Well then. Body was found by the window. Cause of death, loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object. Sir. So, we already know what the murder weapon is. It was the same thing as from last case. Even though it's a... We know that this is actually a clock, not a statue. So, Maya Fey was immediately arrested, who was found at the scene. Can you tell me why? Hard evidence she did it. So, Gumshoe is going to testify about Maya's arrest. As soon as the phone call came in, as soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were two people there already. The defendant and Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Hey, that's us. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. So, really shouldn't... Oh, well, actually, yeah, I guess that makes sense to have Gumshoe testify first, but we also should definitely hear from what this witness has to say. Almost said what they have to say. Very well. Now to begin our cross-examination. Okay, so now what we seem to have to do is to just press everything until we get something right. Okay, okay, so let's begin our cross-examination. Let's just read through what it says here first. Soon a phone call came in, rushed to the scene, two people there, Maya and us, arrested her, witness account describing her, the witness saw the very moment of the murder. Okay. Let's see now. Let's just start pressing things. Don't play dumb, you know who. The call was from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel. right across the street. Not sure it did much, though. Right, please continue. 2 people there already. Between you receiving the call and your arrival at the scene of the crime. 3 minutes. It's pretty fast. Motto this month is quick response. That's how I got there before the killer got away. So tell us who the 2 people... Okay. And us. Hippie clothes and your spiky hair. You 2 stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene. Okay. Immediately arrested her. Why is that? What's your reasoning? We had a witness account describing her. If I heard correctly, said you arrested her because you had heard evidence. Okay. Everyone agrees with us that there is some sort of hard evidence that Maya is the killer. Like she is pink. Any more solid proof other than her claims? Yes. Gah. Okay, so he's going to tell us about something else now. Guess we won't ever get to hear what pressing that 6th statement would do. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was clearly written in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Wait a minute. Death was instantaneous. He's claiming that she wrote before she died, after she was hit with her own blood, Maya's name. Why didn't you testify about this at first? Okay, so now we're gonna cross-examine. Just securing the suspect, scene of the crime with my own eyes. Memo. Maya. Lab test. Sure, this is where we're gonna present this. Objection. And the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note that she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying? Lawyer tricks. What's a lawyer trick? Whatever. So, Phoenix is saying the victim is the only person who could not have written this. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But... no butting. You're way out of this one, detective. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have the time to write down and nah. Yeah. Wait. The day after the murder? The prosecution's point being, the autopsy report is outdated, apparently. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there is possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! I feel like this is some of that not plagiarized, forged evidence that we heard of earlier. Okay, this is gonna be the funniest. You were at fault, detective. This isn't going to look good on your evaluation next month. But submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts this as evidence. Okay. Was identifying the killer. It's the obvious conclusion. This isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. Wow. They're really letting the court make their own impression of her. Miss April May. And her husband June July. Their child August September.